I will since people aren't here, but if everybody's here, usually I just put them on YouTube. Alright, so this is 1.4, rewrite formulas and equations. Alright, so in the video you got a whole bunch of formulas and all of that. Okay, I know there was a code word in there, but I'm not worried about that right now. There's just too much going on to deal with that. So, alright, so this first stuff says to solve the formula for the indicated variable, then use the given information to find the value of the variable. So we've got, it wants us to solve, this is number 4. Solve A is equal to 1/2 BH for B. So we're going to get B by itself. And then find the base of the triangle with a height of 6 inches and an area of 24 inches squared. Okay, so we're finding the base is what that's equal to. Alright, so if I want to get B by itself, any recommendations on what I should do first?
You should
Multiply by 2. 2A is equal to BH. Then what? Divide by H. So I like the whatever I'm solving for to be on the left, so I'm just gonna rewrite it. So this is the rewritten formula, okay, that it first asks you for. So that's part 1 of that. Then part 2 of it says to plug these numbers in and solve for what the base is. So B is equal to 2 times 24 divided by 6. So what is the base?
8 inches.
8 inches. Yeah, make sure we always remember the units on those.
So if it says solve for B, so we have to get it by itself and then plug the numbers in.
Mm-hmm. And that's because, for one thing, it specifically says to solve for it. So, I mean, I always recommend to do it that way. But you have to do it when the section specifically tells you to do it that way. So. Alright, normally I don't do the odd ones, but there's only one even one in that section because there's only 3 of them. So I am going to do number 3 just to make sure we have plenty to go off of. So it says solve A equals L times W for L. And then find the length of the rectangle with a width of 50 millimeters and an area of 250 millimeters squared. So, what do I get to get L by itself? So L is equal to A divided by W. So that's part 1. And then I just come over and I plug this stuff in. So L is equal to 250 over 50. Okay, and always make sure that the units are the same. Every once in a while they try to throw you off and give you something in millimeters and something in like centimeters. So just make sure you're paying attention to that. So what is L? 5 millimeters. Alright, then the next set of stuff says to solve the equation for y, then find the value of y for the given value of x. So, number 10, 15x plus 4y is equal to 9 when x is equal to -3. Alright, so I want to get y by itself, so what should I do first?
Subtract
subtract 15x. So 4y is equal to negative 15x plus 9. And then now what? Divide by 4. So y is equal to negative 15x plus 9, all divided by 4. So that's part 1, okay? Part 2 says to plug in this value of x. So y is equal to negative 15 times negative 3 plus 9 divided by 4. So y is equal to 45 plus 9 divided by 4. So y is equal to 54 over 4. And we can simplify that down. Take out a 2. So is that 27? I think. Over 2. And remember, if they come out as improper fractions, just leave them. All right, number 14. Same instructions. 9y minus 4x equals negative 30. 4x equal to 8. So get y by itself. How do I do that? Add 4x. So 9y is equal to 4x minus 30. And what?
Divide by 9.
Y equals 4x minus 30 over 9. So now, coming and plugging in 8. Y equals 4 times 8 minus 30 over 9. So y equals 32 minus 30 over 9. It's just 2 over 9. Okay, and obviously if you ever have something that can be reduced like we did in the one above, make sure you reduce it to its simplest form. Let's see. The next one's solve the equation for y, then find the value for y for the given value of x. So sounds the same, okay, as what we were just doing, but it's getting a little bit more complicated because it's adding additional variables into it, like extra x's and y's, stuff like that. So number 24 is 9y plus 6xy equals 30, and we want it for x equal to negative 6. All right, I need to get y by itself. Any suggestions on what I can do in order to make that happen?
Okay. What?
Subtract 6xy.
What we can do is we can.
What do we notice about both of these pieces?
Divide
They
6x.
both have a y.
They both have a y. What can I do?
Combine them.
Divide
If they didn't have the x in the one, I could do that.
You can
Divide by one?
subtract the y.
Divide by 6x.
Like one of those properties, maybe. Is like
Oh, factor.
Factor.
Take a y out of both pieces, so 9 plus 6x, then it's equal to 30.
Yeah, we didn't do much of factoring. Like,
Oh, y'all were the quarantine year that would have had this stuff at that.
yeah,
Okay.
Mrs. Marshall was just a little bit frustrated because like none of us knew how to factor like geometry.
Yeah. I forget y'all the year that you got quarantined around the time that you would have been learning this, and I just expect that anything that was supposed to happen, then people don't know. I just forgot that would have been y'all's year. All right, so now how do I get y by itself?
then you gotta do the
Okay, you got to divide by that piece. Okay, now I'm going to show you something, and it is not true, but a common mistake that people make.
Okay.
30 over 9 plus 30 over 6x.
Whoa.
Not true. Okay? Don't do it. I see it all the time, and you can't do that. If it was reversed, we could do it. Because then you would have 9 over 30 and 6x over 30, and that's okay. But the denominator can only be one piece for you to split it.
It doesn't even make sense.
Believe me, I'm with you. But I'm letting you know that it happens a lot more than you would think. Okay? So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to plug this negative 6 in. So y is equal to 30 over 9 plus 6 times negative 6. So y equals 30 over 9 minus 36.
So it's 27. 30.
What just happened? Just like iPad just like got attacked or something. 30 over negative 27, which reduces to what?
Oh, wait. 10 over 9. Negative 10 over 9.
Negative 10 over 9. Take a 3 out of top and bottom.
Really jumped up there.
All right. 26. 4x plus 7y plus 5xy is equal to 0.
Gotta do the same thing.
Can't do it quite yet. You need
Gotta
to
take
do one thing
x
first.
equal
Let's
one.
subtract the 4x.
Subtract the 4x first. Okay, now what?
Then
And
we
then
can
you
do
do
the thing, a factoring.
Okay, now I can take the y out.
7 times 7 plus 5x. Then we divide.
And then you gotta do the d.
Oh, and I forgot to tell you what x is equal to, so you can't really do anything yet, can you?
Oh,
X is equal to 1.
if it were to have been like y was equal to 1, would you have moved the 7y over?
So
If this was telling you to,
That y was equal to 1?
yeah, and the instructions would have told you to solve for x then,
Okay.
and then to plug in the value for y. Not that you can't
1/3
do it the other way, but it just doesn't really make sense to do it that way, so.
y equals -1/3.
It'd be negative 1 over negative. No one heard me, so the balance.
You heard me.
No.
So negative 1/3.
Can't prove it.
Wall heard me. But you know what I said. Prove it.
All right, I'm gonna have you guys try one for a second. It's a little different. We're gonna go back to 22. 7x minus xy is equal to negative 18. X is negative 4. Okay, same thing. Solve for y, and then plug in the given value of x.
Question for you. Okay.
Y'all done? Or you have a question? Awesome, thank you.
Okay. 7x, take out the x.
All right. Did we get y by itself?
Yes.
How do we do it?
Yeah.
So first you're gonna subtract the 7x to the other side, and then what I did is I factored it. I did y, and then I separated it by the negative x,
Okay, so you just split it. It's fine.
and then I divided the negative x by that.
Now, this is one where you could split it. You could write it as negative 7x over negative x and then negative 18x over negative x. Okay, you could split this one. You don't need to do that because you're just plugging in a number, but just so you can see the difference with the one that I said you can't do it in this one. So now plug in the negative 4. Negative times negative is positive, so over 4. So what do we get? 28 minus 18 over 4. Which is 5 over 2, right?
I forgot it.
All right, do we have any questions about that one?
Not anymore.
Makes sense now.
Figured it
All right, we're going to do one more. It's a reasoning type problem,
out. Ew.
okay? So it just says solve for the indicated variable. So in this particular one, it says solve x, y minus x, or sorry, hold on, I cannot read. That's a equal sign. X, y is equal to x plus y for y. So I need to get y by itself.
Actually, we don't need to do that.
Okay.
Nope, we just get y by itself. So recommendations on what I should do to make that happen.
Divide by y.
Okay, so if I do that,
Oh, then we get x minus.
well, and it doesn't entirely get x by itself if I do that.
Divide by,
I say
subtract by x.
we.
Subtract the x where?
Well, I say we like separate the x and the y on this side for.
So if they're just side by side, you don't have to do that.
Oh, okay.
The only time you need to do that is if you have like two pieces and you're pulling something out of both pieces. So you don't, just so you know, you don't have to write the extra step, basically. So my hint is going to be that whatever variable you're trying to solve for, all of that variable needs to be on one side.
Subtract x, and then divide by
Subtract
y.
y.
So now that looks a little more like what we had. So now what can I do?
And then-
Divide by x, right?
then
Not yet.
Put y minus what?
Yeah, y.
What?
Plus
Okay,
y.
so in the left side, what is in both pieces?
Oh,
Y
A y.
times x minus 1.
X.
Okay, yep. So that's good that you remembered. I was wondering if y'all were going to catch that, okay? I took the y out, okay, of the negative y. That still leaves me with a 1. It doesn't just disappear, okay? And it was already negative, so now y is out, okay?
Then we have to divide the.
By x.
And now we can divide. So x over x minus 1.
No way.
Mind-blowing, Josh.
I still don't like math.
It's okay. There are ones with fractions in them. I'm not going to make you do that one.
Now I see why you need to know factoring.
Oh, yeah.
Would've been
If y'all don't know factoring, we're going to have an interesting time this year. But we're going to, there's a whole chapter on, literally a whole chapter on factoring. I'm joking. Well,
Okay.
we're going to do it. It'll be fun. All right. I will tell you one that I'm going to give you, okay, that's similar to this, one of the reasoning, okay, challenge problems. I kind of like to assign a challenge problem every once in a while, okay. It has 3 variables in it and wants you to solve for one of them, okay? I will tell you the procedure for doing it is identical to this one,
Okay.
okay?
Should be easy.
So that's kind of your hint there. Purple.
Get out.
All right. So your problems, okay, that you have 25 minutes to do now, so you should be able to knock them out. 5, 9, 17, 23, and 29. Okay, this is the one here that I said has the 3 variables in it. Okay, so just use the procedures from 28 to do it. Any questions on any of this before we stop? Feel like we're okay? Need to see more examples, anything like that?
When are we gonna when's the lesson gonna happen where we solely just focus on factoring?
It's like a couple chapters away.